Hey everyone, let's go ahead and get some cards of the day. Universal messages for the collective. May they resonate with anyone and everyone who sees this. Whenever you see it, truth be told, this is a timeless message, so it doesn't matter when you see this video. May it apply now, or maybe it will hit you later. A lot of the time, our readings make sense later on in time. So today I'm working with the Tarot of the Orishas. My deck that I created, one of them, the Archer's Career Oracle deck, and also the Archer's Discernment Oracle deck. So these two, if you're interested in either of these, the information is below in the description for you to grab them. This one is a little bit more pricey than this one. You can see the size difference, the number of cards is different, and then also this one has a holographic back. So these are some of the reasons why there's a price difference there if you're just wondering, and so on. But let's hop on in. Let's start off with the tarot. So I'm already seeing a fairy, so I feel that many of you who see this are needing to get outside into nature more, to do something more fun, to do something more playful, to do something to raise your vibration, maybe even to do something that you used to do or used to enjoy as a kid. I know a lot of the time I will do things like watch movies that I enjoyed as a kid, like cartoon movies, Disney movies, things like that. Some of you also need to look to someone who you consider as a fairy godmother figure, or somebody who you consider a fairy godmother figure is wanting to connect with you and is trying to send you signs. And so this could be someone you know in your waking life currently, or it could even be someone who has transitioned over to the great beyond, like an ancestor or just another spirit guide. Some of you, I'm feeling that. Also, fairies can sometimes represent, when I think of the fairy godmother situation, but also when I think of the fairies that helped, I forgot which Disney princess it was, not saying whether you're a prince or a princess or anything else that you consider yourself to be. I'm thinking of, I forget which movie it was, but the fairies that helped the princess get ready. So maybe some of these fairy energies are trying to help you out to prepare for something. So even though that wasn't a card, that is a message that came through. So through clairaudience and clairvoyance. But let's see what else is going on. Okay, this is the Orisha Yansa, but I know her as Oya. So Oya is the energy of, whenever you're seeing this, whether it's the day of, the week of, or the month of, her presence is very strong. So for some of you, you may be daughters or sons of Oya. For some of you, you may have a direct connection with Oya as just someone who looks out for you, even if you don't identify as a daughter or a son of Oya. Either way, and I'm calling her Oya because that's how I know her. But the energy I feel coming through is that of a beautiful storm or divine chaos. So right now, there's a lot happening within the cosmos, within the collective, as above, so below, as they say. So there's a lot of internal, but also external storms happening with us, with things that we're seeing in the news and the media, and the back and forth between different opinions. That's some of the external examples, but also internal, dealing a lot right now. It's a time of doing shadow work. I think when you think of a storm, you think of lightning. I believe Oya in particular is known to work with tornadoes, the twisters. So that tornado twister kind of energy where to us, it looks random, right? To us, it looks like we don't know why that tornado is hitting over there and destroying this house, but not that house, To us, it seems random, but it's not. Actually, it's for a reason. It's divinely orchestrated, divinely guided. So I say that to say in more of a metaphor. So right now we don't understand why something in our life may feel like it's not working out or feel like it's getting destroyed. We may not see the reason yet, but it is divinely orchestrated and divinely guided by universe, and maybe even like Oya herself, because there's a level of divine protection element in it. We may not see the reason why, but just an example, like maybe that what got destroyed over there now has the opportunity to rebuild in a stronger way, in a better way. Maybe there was a faulty foundation there from the start. Maybe there was traumatic energy over there that needed to be cleansed. We may not always know the reason why the divine protects us in certain ways that may feel destructive to us, but ultimately it's in our highest good. So take that message however you feel resonates to you and your life. General reading, take what resonates, release what doesn't. As always, the information is below to book a personal reading with me. But let's move on to the next card. And then also some of you may want to connect with Oya and work with her if she is showing up for you. If you try to call her on purpose, that's a different story. Yeah, but that's what I see with that. Archer's Discernment Oracle deck. What else do we need to know at this time? Ooh, there it is. This flipped over. The message of silence. So silence flew out and onto the ground. So what I'm hearing from this is two things. You know how they talk about the calm before the storm? There's like a calm before the storm, and then there's also this calming after it, which sometimes can feel eerie, sometimes it can feel peaceful. It kind of depends on your own perception, or maybe it's a combination of both. But what I'm hearing from this is there's a need to sit in the silence. There's a need to sit with your thoughts and emotions rather than trying to jump or bypass over them. There's a difference between, and this is why shadow work comes into play, there's a difference between, because this is very much shadow work energy here right now, divine chaos. There's a difference between knowing that you're going through something right now and admitting that to yourself so that you can feel what you're feeling, ask for help if you need to, and begin to work and overcome those root issues, versus continuously believing that you're going to be caught in a storm. There's a difference between knowing that you're going through something right now that is temporary versus actually believing that your whole life is a storm and it's always going to be that way. If you're believing the latter, that it's always going to be that way, you're always going to create more storms in your life. You're going to become a magnet to it. So what I'm hearing is silence and quiet. Silence and quiet the mind, meaning we're always going to have thoughts. Like you're not going to be able to tune out all of the thoughts. But if you can kind of mute those continuous negative thoughts when you catch them and realize that they're false, because you create your reality, because you manifest your future. So if you are realizing that everything is temporary to some level, because tomorrow's not promised and future's not set in stone, you can then reorganize what is being rebuilt by silencing or muting some of those thoughts. Hopefully that's making sense, but that's what the energy I'm getting from this. But also in the sense that some of you need to silence the chaos that you're feeding your energy with, like social media. Some of you need to take a break, silence the chaos, silence the storm, silence the noise by taking a social media break or detox. Some of you need to stop talking to certain people. Some of you need to stop trying to convince certain people to see your perspective or your mindset, because your truth is different from their truth. And there may be just a need to kind of silence the back and forth there as well. So take however that is resonating with you, but silence is something powerful right now. And in those moments of silence is when you can also hear your intuition, when you can also hear your higher self trying to warn you of a storm that is coming, so that you can prepare. You may not be able to fully avoid it, but you can prepare for it. You can get yourself mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and even physically ready sometimes for whatever storm it may be, however it resonates with you. You can prepare in that way so that you're not caught off guard. You know, sometimes it means a reroute for some of you, you know, or to even just get out of there before it hits. Some of you, this could be a need to get away to someplace quiet so that you can relax, so that you don't have to deal with the storm hitting you right there and then. Like a hurricane, for example. Sometimes you have to evacuate to protect yourself. So take what resonates, release what doesn't there, however that's hitting for you. Sorry, my shirt's falling over. Archer's Career Oracle deck. Even though it says career, you can really use it to any area of your life. The other day, I just kind of used it, even though it was a love reading I was doing, and the messages still applied. If you are in touch with your spirit, your intuition, your self-awareness, the messages will come through how they're meant to. But let's see what's going on. Okay, so changes in career are coming, and the goal is to be debt-free and to pay off debt paid off. So there are some career changes ahead. Let's see if there's time frames here. This or next year is what Spirit is talking about for you guys. So for those of you that have had a goal of trying to become debt-free or paying off debts, this or next year is going to be different for different people. And whenever you're seeing this, are going to begin to see the results of either being debt-free or paying off those debts. In other words, there's progress happening. But this is not just debts in terms of finances. This is also debts in terms of karmic debts. Learning the karmic lessons, breaking those karmic contracts that are hurting you continuously and not serving you, paying off those karmic debts so you don't have to continue to relive them, or even learning the lesson to overcome them. So it's like you owe no more debts spiritually because you've learned the lessons, you've evolved, you've changed. So it's both financial but also karmic debt as well that is now finally beginning to be paid off for a lot of you who are seeing this. And if you can't see it yet, then this is the message to start to work towards that this or next year, so you can begin to see the results this or next year from whenever you're seeing this. So if you choose to, and if this resonated, you could always tip by buying me a coffee if you want. Information is down below in the description for you to do that. It is an energy exchange, and so gratitude for those of you who have been doing so. Also, comment below how this reading resonated with you. Like this video, comment, and share to those that you feel also need to hear these messages. And I will talk to you guys another time. Bye.